Welcome to the Festival of Discovery, with great thanks to the National Lottery, without whom it wouldn't be possible. I'm Reg, and I am going to lead you through this strange voyage of discovery and lantern making today. I am sometimes a puppeteer, an inventor, sometimes a designer. Lots of making, love making things, so props, giant sculptures, lanterns, small things that make music. So I design and make things, and I really love doing it. Yeah, it's very good for you, makes you happy, make things. Yeah, brilliant. Lantern festivals have been in this country going on since the 60s. Very instrumental in this, if not the first people to do it, were Welfare State International, founded by Bob Fox. And he got a lot of inspiration and travelling in the Far East. Came back here and started developing lantern parades for community celebrations. And just exploded from there, from just basic little lanterns to massive structures. You know, a spaceman, a floating spaceman, and just kind of things that, whoa, right out there. And in recent years, it's become very popular in Cornwall. And it's great because you can still go places where people haven't seen it. I know a lot of people have now seen things like the Mevagissey Feast Week, the City of Lights, Bodmin Lights Up, Port Isaac Lights, the Weybridge Bike Lights, which is a kind of mixture of sculpture on bicycles that everybody can join in a little way, just put lights on your bike or build big sculptures onto it and then cycle around the town in a big parade. Really great. 10 years ago, we started Articulate Collective, which is a kind of loose collective of artists from around Cornwall. And we get together because we love working together. One of the most fun projects we've done in some years is a biennial festival on the Isles of Scilly called the Island Light Festival. Brings together the community, schools, everybody, all ages, with a bit of a narrative behind it and doing a parade. So, from the smallest things you can make. In lantern terms, this is quite small. So you could make something however small. If you can work really fiddly, you could make something very, very tiny. Or something absolutely humongous. We made, for a festival in Italy, 2 sculptures that joined together to make one. So it was a big fish, and then a woman who went into the fish's mouth to make this huge siren, which was absolutely massive. I love lantern making because everybody can do it. Whatever you can imagine, you can build it. So everybody can join in. As I was saying before, you can be so simple and so basic, or it can be really intricate. And you just get lost in the process sometimes. Last year for Eden Project, I made a California condor with a 10-foot wingspan, and it's just kind of like meditation. You just kind of get focused in on like feathers and things like that, and just hours go by. But it's really great because you can use it in so many celebratory things. It makes people happy as well because they kind of start off with just sticks, and they think, well, how am I going to make that? And at the end of the process, people don't want to stop creating. Oh wow, I can do this. It's just kind of really great because it's such a simple thing to do, but you can get really wonderful results. And then when it's dark and you put lights in them and it's all lit up, it just kind of that just magical dimension. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we're going to be making a basic pyramid lantern, a square-based pyramid. All it is 2 triangles. So we can make 2 triangles, join them together to make a square-based pyramid. These are willow sticks. Salix viminalis, if you want to know the Latin. And we're going to join them together with masking tape and put a little paper clip, that is, hook on the top. When we've joined those together, we're going to cover them in greaseproof paper, which is the sort of stuff you get from a baker's shop that lines pasty trays. Eat the pasties, use that to cover them with. PVA glue. When we've glued that on, and it's nice and dry, or before it's nice and dry, you can decorate it. You can take leaves out of the garden and press them dry, so nice and flat, stick them on there, other coloured tissue paper, or you can use a pen or a permanent marker pen to write words on there. You might want to do a poem on there, something like that. However you want, just be totally imaginative, go with the flow. So how about we start making one? Here we are at the table of creativity, all the accoutrements you could possibly need apart from tea and cake. So we have the willow sticks here that you will need. We have some secateurs, a pair of scissors, masking tape or parcel tape, a ruler, a rule, a steel rule, pen maybe, a paper clip, large paper clip. Oh, something to cover your beautiful mahogany table with, because we're going to put glue on it. So you need maybe like an oilcloth. If you haven't got an oilcloth, you can use maybe a bin liner or something like that, but something taped down so it doesn't move about all over the place. Got to be really nice, smooth area for you to work on. PVA glue, which you can get anywhere in craft shops. PVA glue, don't use builder's PVA. Builder's PVA has got chemicals in it, fungicide, stuff like that. Not very good for your hands. So you want craft PVA mixed 3 parts PVA to 1 part water, so that it's like single cream. And maybe some cloths so that you can wipe your hands. But PVA glue comes off, you just rub your hands together and it will come off anyway. So it's all water-based. And that's what we need. So I'm going to make one that's this size. We're going to start off by making a triangle. For this bit, we're going to start at the thick end of the willow. If you're using willow and it's got a really gnarly end, some of them are split, you can always chop off the end. But when you're chopping that off, make sure it doesn't flick off somewhere, okay? Because they can, if you go pow. And then we measure from that end, and we're going to measure 80 centimetres. So I'm going to measure from the thick end right at the end there, measure it along 60, 70, 80 centimetres. When I get to 80 centimetres, I'm going to bend it there and then snip it off. So I've got 80 centimetre stick. I'm going to put that one down, we use that directly. So I'll put that one down there. 80 centimetre stick. So I'm going to start from the thick end and I'm going to measure along from the end 30 centimetres. When I get to 30, it's really handy if you've got a thumbnail, because you can put it right on 30 and then bend it. Okay, then we're going to measure along 30 again. So you can either do that on the tape measure, or if you've got something that's very pliable, you can bend it like that, and then you know that you've got 30 there again. Bend it again. You can see what I'm doing now, it's making a triangle. The bases of these are 15, so I'm going to measure along 15, bing, 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 15, and I'm going to bend it again. So now, if we put this one down here, and we join those two together, we've got a triangle. So take a little bit of craft tape, you don't need a great deal, and hold that in place there. Sometimes it's easier if you actually put the craft tape on the end of the bit you're sticking, wrap it round, and then put that bit next to it, and then you can go around again. It holds it in nice and tight. Craft tape's brilliant, it's brown tape, it's really good. So that's going to hold it in place really nice and tight, okay? If you want to be fussy, I'm very fussy when I make stuff, I tape the end joints in as well, so I can just wrap that in there like that. Really pushing that tape tight. You've got a triangle. Whoa, once you've got one done, you're going to repeat that process and do a second one. So let's go along. I'll chop that end bit off, it's a bit thick and gnarly. Chop them off. Come down here. What do we measure? 30. 30, come along to 30, 30, 30, 30. Oh no, I went to 80 first, didn't I? Chop it off. 70, 80 to get the right size, the overall size, so it's not too unwieldy. Chop that off. Put that bit down there, we're going to use that bit in a minute. So 80 centimetres. Start from the thick end, measure along 30, bend it, and then from that bend another 30, bend it, from that corner 15, bend it, boink, 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 join them all together, you got your second triangle. Masking tape or craft tape, starting right on that end. I'm going to do that little trick with that. Hold it in place, put that on there, really tight, and you can travel it along. If you put the tape at an angle and travel it along rather than go in one direction. I'll show you with the masking tape because you'll see it a bit better. So what I mean by travelling along, if you start with the masking tape, put it on there and then put it at an angle and it will travel along and stick the whole length rather than going round and round in one place. So now we've got 2 identical triangles. Look at that, next to each other. I'll put them there, you'll only see one. Blooming amazing, look at that. And then we're going to join them together so that they can stand up like that. Another piece of tape. And we're going to try and get it through that apex, that pointy bit there. So open that up a little bit if we can. And go through there, and you can kind of wiggle it through like that. Pull it nice and tight, wiggle it through again. And squeeze it all in with your fingers and thumbs like that. And now, pull that apart. It stands up on its own. Whoa! Next thing we're going to do is add these little bars on the bottom. So we're going to add bits across here and here that join that base and keep it nice and strong. You can use those bits we cut off earlier on. If you remember, that last bend was 15, but we need little bits sticking up either end. So I'm going to cut this at 20, and then I'm going to make another one exactly the same size. So I want to measure it up side by side. Chop that bit off there. So we've got 2 bits at 20, and we need to make them into little staples. So we're going to bend up 2.5 centimetres each end. 2.5. Like that. 2.5. So we've got 2.5 each end. So that's 5. Off 20 makes 15. Should be the same size as that. Okay, so we make another one. So that's that one's going to go that side. So this one, 2.5 centimetres. Boom, 2.5 centimetres. Another little staple that we've made there. See these little bits coming up like that? And then we join those in to the base across here to hold each side in place. Once again, it's really good if you go round that little leg first once, take him round there, tape him right into the corner of the bottom of that triangle. Travel it along again like that, so that's nice and tight on one side. This one is going to go on there. Another piece of masking tape, or craft tape, around there. Put that on there. Sometimes if you've got somebody to work with, it can be helpful because somebody can hold it into place while you tape it in place. So that's nice and tight on there. We'll do exactly the same on the other side. There you go. That one on there. Wrap that round there. So we've got a little flag on the end of that leg. Put it on here. Tape it on right into that corner so it's very, very tight in there. Travel it along. Okay, that bit's going to go on there. So wrap that bit round there. Bend him into there, right into the corner. Wrap it round really tight. Travel it along. So now we've got square-based pyramid. But there's nothing to stop it going like that. All right. So what we need to do now is put a cross piece across here that holds it in perfect square. Offcut here. So we're going to start off just any offcut like this, as long as it's longer than the cross piece here. Bend the end, piece of masking tape, and now we're going to join that into the corner. So we're going to put that right in that corner and go around really tight and then travel it down into that corner. Now this one we pull down to here and we can adjust the size of that, the shape. So you need to look at that or get your friend to look at it and say, is that about square? Oh, and that's about square there. Okay, and then we bend that and then we chop him off so we've got a little bit to join into there. So I'm going to get a little bit of craft tape and I'm going to start right in that corner. I'm wrapping round, wrapping round, wrapping round. That's in there, lovely. All right, held nice and square. I'm just going to repeat that the other side. Bend that, a little bit of masking tape, round there once, into the opposite corners. So that one's going to stick on there. Wrap him round really tight, travel it along, come over to the other side. Whoop, he snaps. Now that sometimes happens when they get dry, but it's not a problem. You can imagine that you are in the accident emergency room at the hospital, and you can put a little bit of tape here, wrap it around. Imagine if you're repairing somebody's leg that's just broken, and you'll find that that's good enough on here. It's not structural really, it's just to kind of hold that shape and give somewhere for the tissue paper to stick on top. That's the good thing about willow. Another good thing is if you go wrong, you don't have to say, oh no, I did it wrong, I'll have to start again. You don't have to start again. You can just chop bits out. Get your secateurs, chop that bit, add another little bit in, and then do that. So now we've got this crossy bit in the middle. We just want to join that together. Let's get some masking tape, and we'll do a cross join. So a cross join, I'm going to start off in the middle of this one, go round once, and then I'm going to go right in those angles there and wriggle it, so it makes a sort of little masking tape rope. Wrap it round both sides there, wrap it round, squeeze it nice and tight, lovely and tight there. Now we've got a square base pyramid, paper clip, open up paper clip, like that, and you can fashion this into some sort of hooky shape if you want to at the top there. And then this little bottom bit, all we're going to do is wrap it around. These paper clips are great because they're soft enough for you to bend the wire. So let's have another bit of masking tape, wrap that round there. Voila! One pyramid lantern frame ready to have the tissue paper put on top. So here we go. There's a little tip I want to show you here about the lighting. You can add it after we've put the tissue paper on, or you can with these copper wire lights, because they're waterproof, pretty waterproof, water resilient. You can leave yourself a little lead in this plastic bit at the top, and then you can wrap it around the frame. So you can either go round and take it round and wrap it round the frame like that, or you can bring it round, keep this bit out of the way, bring it round and wrap it round like this, round like that, so that you've got this framework of lights like this. Let's just get this bit in. But the good thing is you can just wrap the last bit round and it'll hold it in place. And then when you've got it covered in tissue paper, you've got those lights all the way round it. That's just another way of doing it. So you can use that little tip if you want to. So the next step is the lovely sticky bit, and we are using the PVA glue, watered down, 3 parts PVA to 1 part water-ish, making it into a cream, and we're using the wonderful greaseproof paper. We're going to use a process called reverse pasting. Definitely need to cover where you're working, and you need to have an oilcloth there. So we've got the PVA glue, keep it away from the edge of the table so it doesn't fall on the floor. Your frame here. There's lots of different ways to do it. This is just one of them, all right? A sheet usually about A2 size will do for this size. So now you can paste each side individually if you want. If you want to do that, you just lay the lantern down. You've got to make sure you've got a couple of centimetres overlap around the edges, okay? So if I just show you that, so I'm going to lay that down on the paper, and then I'm just going to cut round that. And if you want to, you could always draw around in pencil. I'm not going to bother, I'm just going to chop that around here, like that. So you've got a piece of tissue that is larger than the side of the lantern. You can, if you are feeling very clever, put it on here, and you can do 2 sides together. So you could do that, and you could roll it over there. First of all, you cut one side, so you go like this, making sure you've got that overlap, and then you can put it over into its side again, keeping it in place. This is really, really handy if you've got somebody else to help you. And same round there, chop, 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 round there. And then I'm going to go up that side and get it a good overlap around there as well. Splendid. So that's 1, 2, 3 sides. we've got covered. So have I got enough in there? Yes, I've got enough there to do that. And then I'll have to use another little bit because that wasn't A2 size, actually a bit smaller. So I'm going to chop round this one as well. You can just do it with random pieces. I'll show you that in a minute. You don't need to be so precise as this. Chop, chop. Now I'm going to do the same with the base. So overlap all around the edges a little bit, 1.5, 2 centimetres, something like that. Chop around there. Chop, chop, chop. Scissors. Okay, put this out there. I think I'm going to start with the base. So this is the little base bit there. It's going to go around there. First of all, take your glue. Now the fun bit. Okay, this is why you've got covering. Dip your brush in the glue. Make sure it's got loads in there, but don't move it like that, otherwise you'll get glue everywhere. So scrape it off on the side of the pot, on the inside of the pot, not on the outside of the pot. Now you're going to paste an area on that cloth. So you're going to paste an area that's big enough to put that square on. So it's got to be a little bit bigger than that square. So you paste it on there. And there's a bit of an art to this. It's you've got to have enough paste that so to stick it, but not so much that it slops glue everywhere. So now I'm going to lay the tissue on top of that. Let's move that out of the way. Lay the tissue on top of there, and we go back to the glue and scrape that off so it's not dripping everywhere. Then I come around and start on the edges, paste the edges all the way round. Then you've got a square in the middle that's dry, so paste all over that. Every square millimetre is going to be covered in glue, but it's not dripping. There's no great big puddles of glue everywhere. Okay. Here, pick up the edges. You can feel that it's got glue on it. You can see if you hold it up to the light, you'll be able to see if there's any dry areas. All right. Now I'm going to put this on the frame, but it's got to overlap. So overlap that top bit. Whoop, that bit's ripped on my finger. It's okay, not a problem. Squeeze that bit over the top round the edge. Wrap this piece around here, so that's squeezed on there. That bit round there, squeezed around there, so it goes right around the frame and holds itself in there really tightly. Really nice. You smooth it out with your fingers. You're going to get a bit sticky, but it's okay. It's only water-based glue, so spread it over there. And that is the base done. All right, so we've got that nicely in place. Now, because we've got this bit of wire, we can use that to support the frame on here while we do the next bit. All right, so that's the pointy bit there, pointy bit there, pointy bit there, triangle, triangle. So I'm going to paste that big sheet of tissue. Right, okay, here we go. Into the glue, scrape it on the side, come back, see what area I need on the tablecloth. Still got some on there from last time, spread that out a little bit. Okay, we've got enough glue on there, I think so. Let's put that one on there. Yeah, looks good. Come over here now, right from that top bit, go around the edges, paste it all up, a bit more, scrape it off, paste it around the edges, dry bit in the middle, paste all that up. Okay, there, and I'm going to bring this side bit up here, and I'm going to wrap it around there. So that's that side bit, and I'm going to lift that bit round there. Whoa, how clever is this? Look, fantastic. One side, wrap this round. You can pull it in place. Okay, smooth that round there, smooth that round there. And this third one, I'm going to wrap right the way round. Like that. Smooth that bit around the bottom. Okay. And any top bits like that, you can fold them round, get them out of the way. Lovely. Okay, now you don't want to stand it down like that because it will stick to the table, so you can use that little bit just to keep that bit off the bottom for now. Onto one of these triangles. So now we've got the sides that are just single sides. A little bit more glue, scrape it off, put it on there. Lovely. Right, put that one down there. Go around the edges. Make sure all the edges are covered, then you've got a dry bit in the middle, spread it out in the middle. Careful. carefully lift this one up, lay it over there. Gently ease those bits around there. Smooth it gently down around the corners. Lovely. Beautiful. Now we've only got that last bit to do around that side, so I'm going to bend this one down there to hold him off the table a bit. Look on the inside as well, check the inside. Last bit is that one there, so we can do exactly the same. You can see the little area of the triangle now where the glue was lifted off, so you can see exactly where you've got to paste. Paste there, alright, you don't want that much glue. If you put that on there, it'll get you in all sorts of problems. So you can always scrape that out. So now the last bit to do is that bit there. So let's see if we can do that facing you there. Pick that up. If you drop it, oh my goodness me, don't worry about it, it's okay. You can just put it, it's very forgiving this. That's why you need to use this grease-proof paper. If you tried to do that with ordinary tissue, it'd be all over the place. Now we smooth those bits down, using the back of your fingers or front of your fingers, whatever you want. Come down to the bottom bit. Okay, fold those bits in. Smooth it out, make sure everything's nice and smooth. Go around the top. There we have one tissued lantern with all the bits stuck down, and then we just hang it to dry somewhere. It's always good to hang it or put something underneath it, newspaper or something, to catch any drips of glue that come off, because you don't want to go on your carpet or on your dog or cat. I can hang that one up to dry, then I can look around and see if anything else needs doing, and then we leave that to dry. Inside your house, it'll be dry within an hour if you've got a nice warm place. If you leave it outside and it's raining, it won't dry at all. And then when it's dry, you've got this, okay? And you can make a little trap door then, so you can put your lights inside with a knife, and just to make a little cut like that, and it gives you a little flap there. Right, so you've got a nice little flap there that you can get inside and slide your lights in. Different sorts of lights. There's these little candle lights. You just twist the top and they light up. A little bit of double-sided tape on the bottom. Peel that off, put it in there. Or different sort of lights. These are great. So now these little copper wire lights, fantastic. They're only a couple of £1 each. You can buy them online, but they're really great. You can scrumple them up into the shape, stuff them up into the lantern, and once again put a bit of double-sided tape. That double-sided tape on there, so your on-off switch is on the bottom of the lantern, makes it easier to turn on and off, like that. Or you could poke it in there, but it makes it a bit harder then to operate. You can cut out as much of this as you like. It's just a trapdoor. So put all that in there, but it shines up really nice and bright. Then decorate them if you like. So this one that I made earlier, I just got some leaves out of the garden and pressed them between paper towel and put them in the airing cupboard to dry, so nice and flat. And then just pasted some more PVA glue on there, stuck them on, PVA glue over the top, left them to dry, and it makes a really nice little lantern. And that is it. That's the basic. And from making that, you can use the same sort of techniques to join things together to make whatever shapes you want. The world is your oyster, or your pyramid. Right, so there you have it. That's how you make your very basic mini pyramid lantern, which is the basis for whatever else you want to make as well. And that's part of the Festival of Discovery, with big thanks, of course, to National Lottery. Have fun, explore, design, do beautiful things with them. My name's Reg. Thanks very much for joining me. Have great fun with them. See you again. Bye.